the reason you came here, even though I would love to think you came to learn all my real estate investing knowledge and all that stuff, was to learn about social media, man. So, you know, we've spent a few hours at the office. What do you think you've picked up so far for the audience?
I'd probably say that just the power of it, to be honest. I somewhat already knew how much of an impact it can make on all your businesses, but I think just seeing it is it makes it more real. For me, I've taken courses on social media, but one of the things that helps me out sometimes is watching how people produce their content. And that was the big thing that I've gone from you, how just it's not that complicated, I don't think. I think it's just a matter of being consistent with it, always adding value and just doing it over and over. But yeah, no, I mean, it's been great. Essentially just obviously watching you do what you're naturally gifted at.
Yeah, and I would say too, I think there's obviously natural talent involved with anything you do, whether you're a sales guy, whether you're an influencer, baseball player, as we said, you know, like there's always natural talent. But a lot of times when people see talent, like they're seeing like the end picture of it. You know, they don't see what it was like 5 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever. And, you know, what I'll say is, for me anyways, and you'll relate to this since you played baseball, right? It's like the best guys make it look so easy, right? You saw like the best players, like when they make an amazing play, you're like, wow, that was like, he made that look like it was nothing. But we know as we're like, dude, I can't believe he did that. But, and you know, what's funny is like when a fan sees it, they think they can do it too. They're like, yeah, you can't field that ball. I can field that ball. Like, so it's kind of like a gift and a curse when you become good at something, because people think it's way easier than it really is. And it's like, yeah, it just takes like thousands and thousands of reps to get there. But also too, like for me anyways, you know, you watched me film a couple of videos and saw how we go about the process and everything. And, you know, we're currently filming this podcast right now. You can see just, you know, everything. And it's something that I try and strive to make as simple as possible, because, you know, we're talking about time and shortcuts, right? Like we only have so many hours in the day. And so if I want to put out as much content as humanly possible, I got to be super efficient with everything. I got to make sure I film it the right way as fast as possible. Need to make sure that our equipment's set up so we're not having all this lag time in between sets. Got to have scripts ready. And then figure out too, what fits my persona the best. And so like you were looking over my scripts, and for me, I use bullet points. And I know that there are people who can't do that. Like they need a teleprompter. They need the literally
word by word.
Word by word. I can't do it. We've tried it. My team will tell you, I tried to script it out. It was a mess. It took me like an hour to write it. And then I'd be like going off of the script because I'm like, oh, well, I want to say this. And it just screws up the teleprompter. So yeah, long story short, I wasted like $300 on a teleprompter that we never used. But I think you just got to figure out like what works best for you. And you're going to figure that out as you go along. Like, hey, how can I efficiently make the best content, you know, in as much volume as possible? Because that's what I think the name of the game is. It's volume.
Well, for me, one of the things that's been amazing is I started focusing on it like 2-3 months ago. And I mean, I've got like 310 hours of watch time in a month, which averages out to about 11 hours a day. And to me, that's amazing to me that other people can be watching my content for 11 hours in a day while I'm doing something else.
Isn't that crazy? Like to think about?
Yeah, like literally people are on their screen or on their TV watching you. For you, it's a lot more than that. But I feel like I'm at the early stages. And to me, just knowing that people are watching that for that amount of time is mind-blowing to me.
Crazy. Yeah, I'll tell you that just the first couple of times that I started posting and seeing that too, like, you know, to get monetized on YouTube, you need 4,000 hours of watch time. And I just remember it took me like 3 months to get that 4,000 hours, but you know, when I hit it, I was like, man, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you think about it and you're like, people watched you for 4,000 hours. That's crazy.
While you were doing something else.
Right.
Meaning like you weren't even there explaining anything to them. Like you're doing something completely different, which is amazing to me.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.